So far, we have explored a lot of crazy claims in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and today we are going to look at 15 more to see which ones are false and which are true. For example, is there a secret during the credits? Can Nabbit ride on Yoshi? And can you actually defeat this shadow clone? Well, let's find out. Number 15. Now, Nintendo made sure with this game that it's filled with all kinds of secrets and Easter eggs. And even in the very first level, we see stuff like this. But recently, someone mentioned something that I had never heard of. This viewer said that in the first level, you can find a secret if you have the exclamation mark badge and look for a secret propeller flower, because it will take you to a cloud platform, which will then lead to a hidden sub-level. Now, I had never seen or heard of this, and even when I did online research, I couldn't find much. So I wasn't sure if it was even real. So I started looking around, and at this block, I was able to find the flower he was talking about. And it took me higher up. And here, if you don't hit these break blocks, you will find these exclamation mark blocks. And if you hit those, a vine will appear. When you climb it, you will end up in a sub-level known as a coin heaven, which is seen in some other areas and levels as well. Now your reward is just some coins, which isn't the best. But still, it's cool to see that this is in the game, and I had never seen or heard of it before. Number 14. Some of the myths or claims I get in the comment section are quite simple and small, so they are easy to test, but I still want to cover them because I'm here to please all of you. I want the viewers of these videos, so you, to have a real voice and input into what happens next. So yeah, leave your suggestions down below. And this also means we will cover a small one really quick, because Parker Rutt said, can a Yoshi push a pipe with someone on his back? Well, I had never tried this, so I gave it a shot. Because sometimes things seem possible in this game, but they aren't. However, as you can see here, it works. Yoshi has no issue at all. So this claim is true. Number 13. Now, when I first got the game, each time I encountered a Wonder Flower, I was excited to see what it would do. And to be honest, I was never disappointed. All of them are fun, weird, creative, and even a bit silly, which is just perfect for this kind of game. However, I still find out about new things every day. That's how much detail Nintendo added to this game. And Dylan claimed that in the level Beware of the Rifts, during the Wonder effect, you can see the giant mushrooms in the background snap in half when you use the Mega Pow block. So I went into the level to see if this was true. And when I first hit the Pow, it didn't break. It only shaked around a bit. But if you hit the block a couple of times, you will see it crack and even break due to the force of the Mega Pow, which is a nice little detail. And this also means that Dylan was right. This claim is 100% real. Number 12. This next one is another small claim that I found fascinating and also a bit odd, because I wasn't sure what this person meant. This commenter said that if Yoshi eats a bubble flower, then the bubble surrounding it will pop when he spits it out. Now, I wasn't sure what to expect here, but believe me, I was intrigued at this point. So I tried it. At first, I thought that eating the flower was even impossible, but as you can see here, I was wrong. And then, after laughing due to Yoshi's silly face here, because, I mean, look at this. I spit it out, and I could see the bubble flower without the bubble. It looks similar to the normal fire flower, and I never knew that this was a thing. Sure, in the grand scheme it doesn't matter at all, but I guess it's interesting. Number 11. When I first read the next claim we are going to cover, I was instantly hooked, because in many ways it made a lot of sense. Because this viewer says that Yoshi becomes slower if he has a character with the elephant power-up on his back. And I mean, when you look at Yoshi during this, you can see he is anything but happy and is struggling with the extra weight. However, is he any slower? Well, I went into the very first level and then ran a certain section up and down, both as Yoshi with just Mario on his back using a normal power-up that doesn't make him massive, and then another time where Mario is in his elephant form. Now, I will admit, I was kinda surprised by the results, because by the looks of it, it doesn't really matter. Yoshi goes just as fast. Heck, in some instances, when I compared it frame by frame, it even seemed like Yoshi was faster with the extra weight on his back. So yeah, as far as I can see, this claim is false, even though every fiber of my being says says that this is wrong, but I guess sometimes looks are deceiving, and Yoshi is clearly putting in the extra work. Number 10. Sound is important. I mean, I'm not sure if y'all noticed, but here in the Wily videos, we've been working on sound design as well, adding little sound effects for transitions, and also during those special edits to make it more fun. So far, it seems like all of you enjoy it. Well, if I have to believe the audience retention graph, which shows how long all of you watch the video on average. And in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, sound design is also key, and in the past, we have looked into this as well. But today, we got something new, because Wolf Lord said that the background music is muffled when you are underground using the drill mushroom. So I got myself one and decided to try it out to see if this is even in the game. And yes, it is! Listen to this. You can hear the difference very well, and I love that Nintendo adds small things like this to their games, because sound design really is key, and so this claim is true. Number 9. So far in this video, we've learned that the Super Mario games can be a bit misleading. Things are not always what they seem. And for our next claim, we will look at something that seems to be impossible, but we might be wrong on this. Chris Day from the comment section asked me if it's possible to use a bubble from the bubble flower underwater. Well, who knows? Using basic logic, I would say it's impossible. The pressure of the water would pop the bubble instantly, or the bubble would just mix with the water and can't form at all. That's at least what would happen in the real world. But what happens in Super Mario Bros. Wonder? Well, I tested it, and when I tried it, I saw that it actually worked. I was even able to defeat a bunch of Cheep Cheeps using it. So yeah, in the world of Mario, physics and the laws of nature are very different. Which means that this claim is true. So yeah. Number 8. Now, in one of the other myth-busting videos, I tried to burrow underneath the flagpole seen in almost every level, which is a myth that I will have to revisit due to popular demand, and I will get to that in the future. However, today we are going to test if I can burrow underneath a pipe, because Leonard asked me if this was possible, so I had to try it. But when I did this, I saw that it wasn't possible. I even tried this with multiple different pipes, and no matter what I did, I couldn't make it work, even though a sideways pipe like this should work. So it seems like this claim is false. You can only go in one, but never underneath one. Number 7. This badge, the Dolphin Kick, is sick. It makes water levels a lot of fun, but people in the comments have asked me if it can be used in other instances as well. For example, during that one Wonder effect where you're able to swim through lava. But I already covered that in another myth-busting video. So today we will test something else. Because Doug asked me, does the Dolphin Kick badge work in the green goo, which is seen in levels like an uncharted area Wubba Ruins? Well, who knows? So I dove right into this level to see if I could dolphin kick my way through this gross gelatin-like substance. And when I jumped into it, I tried my best to use the badge again and again, but it didn't work. I couldn't use this ability, most likely because you don't really swim through this stuff. You kind of wiggle through it. Now I'm not sure if this is the reason, but I bet it is. Otherwise, you would also be able to dolphin kick on land. So yeah, this is impossible, which is a bit disappointing, I will admit. Number 6. Now clearly the elephant power-up makes you one chunky person. You become incredibly heavy, as we have seen with Yoshi, who isn't too happy when you jump on his back. But this didn't slow him down, which doesn't make sense. So will this extra weight have an effect on anything seen in the game at all? Well, who knows? I guess we gotta test a bunch of stuff. And 12 Little Lou from the comment section claimed that the elephant power-up doesn't affect the speed of the puffy pink platforms either. They won't go down any faster. Now again, this doesn't make much sense in my opinion, so I decided to test it to see if this person was right. And to my surprise, he is. Just look at this. The platform goes down at the same speed no matter the form. So yeah, Elephant Mario is really heavy, clearly heavier than the normal characters, but this rarely has an effect in-game. Man oh man, sometimes Nintendo's game design is a bit weird. But hey, at least this claim is true. Number 5. Now that we are here in the up and down puffy lifts level, we can verify another claim that somebody made. Clifford said that in this level, if you choose not to activate the Wonder Flower, then the talking flower ahead will whisper that you are forgetting something. So I went past the Wonder Flower and kept an eye out for talking flowers. And when I saw this one, he mentioned exactly what this commenter said. So yeah, they will give you a small hint. But then when I tried to go back, I noticed that I couldn't for some reason. No more Goombrats came out of the pipe. And so the platform that would lead to the Wonder Flower was in my way. I'm not sure if this always happens, but the game basically forced me to replay the level, which isn't a bad thing. Replayability is fun, but yeah, it's clear that this claim is true. Number 4. In one of my other myth-busting videos, we tested whether you can end up in a stalemate with a shova during a pipe-pushing battle. And now we are back to do some more testing, because people in the comment section wanted me to do this. For example, this person said, you know, you could try to use Yoshi or Nabbit against the shova because they don't have a power-up, so maybe it will end up in a stalemate. And that's exactly what I did. First with Nabbit, and as you can see, he wins the duel, even though he has a bag in his hand. And as we have seen in previous experiments, this normally doesn't work, because when you hold a shell, you will lose. But what about Yoshi? Well, again, he wins. So by the looks of it, no matter who you pick, you can never end up in a stalemate with a shova. You either win or lose. Number 3. One of my favorite little details in Super Mario Bros. Wonder is the credits, because it isn't like any of the others. It's playable and you can collect points by touching the names of the credits, but apparently if you do nothing, something will happen. This person said that if you don't move, then at some point the character will clap their hands and bop their head to the beat. So I beat the ever-living heck out of Bowser to get to the credits, and after waiting for a while, I saw that the claim is true. Mario actually stands there and fully enjoys the music, which is a nice little touch that I had never seen, and I love it. Number 2. Now this next claim is simple and small, so I will be quick. Davis asked me if Nabbit can ride Yoshi. Well, that's what I think he means at least. But can you do this? Well, as you can see, you can. I mean, anyone can ride Yoshi, no matter which character you pick. Number 1. Now we have come to one of the most exciting claims to test, because it requires us to do the impossible. In the older games, we sometimes came across levels where we had to race some sort of shadow or cosmic clone. A good example of this was seen in Super Mario Galaxy, and now this idea is back in Wonder. But this time it's tied to a Wonder effect, and the clone will actually copy your every movement. But as soon as you touch this evil version of yourself, you take damage. So you have to outrun it until you find the Wonder Seed. But then Jason asked me if there's a way around this, because he said, is it possible to defeat this clone yourself? Well, I went into a level where I knew I could find one to try and kill it by either jumping on it or using fireballs. And while jumping on it results in damage or just nothing happening, so I bombarded it with fireballs, and each time it looked like it took damage, which encouraged me to continue. So I did this for 3 minutes and 20 seconds straight. And then, all of a sudden, the clone died, and it dropped a single coin. So you can kill it, but it seems like only fireballs will do the job, while any other physical attacks do nothing. And of course, it takes a long time, and there isn't really some grand reward for doing this, which is a bit sad, because it would have been cool if you got something more worthwhile for it. However, all of this at least shows that the claim is true. Now, those were all the things I wanted to cover today, but don't forget, I got more videos like this on my channel, so check them out. And if you have any suggestions, leave them below, and you might be featured. Also, don't forget, subscribe and leave a like, because more content is on the way.